Do you have someone in your life who you feel for whatever reason doesn't deserve your forgiveness? Now, I know I've been there before. A few weeks back, I was in the sauna. And you know how those sauna sessions can get? They end up being a little bit of a therapy session where you're in there with your mates and just having a chat. One guy in there started opening up a little bit about his past. He, for whatever reason, spoke about things he suffered with, and it was involving someone else. Now, I'm not going to go into too much context, and I just felt that, okay, he's holding on to something here. And I simply said, forgiveness isn't for the other person, forgiveness is for you. And I left it there. Now, not too long ago, he came up to me. He said, James, I've been thinking about what you said, and honestly, it's helped me heal in a different way. He said, I never realised that I've been carrying this burden, and it was simply because I couldn't forgive someone for what they did to me. Now, a friend of mine can validate this story. He was stood behind, and he came up to me after and he said, James, that must feel really good. But the funny thing about all of this, I just said it in passing conversation. I wasn't trying to heal him. I was just speaking from experience and the truth. And he realised at that point, forgiveness wasn't about you have to forgive people when they change. Forgiveness is always for you. And sometimes that's linked with your own healing. Now, does this mean you have to forget what everyone's ever done wrong to you? No. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to forget, but it means this. When you forgive someone else, you have to know this for sure. This is the big issue. People think, well, I'm not going to forgive them because they're still doing the same thing. They haven't changed. Now, for many people in life, you'll come to realise this, most people are conditioned and programmed to think they are who they are and they will never change. You could be waiting to forgive someone, waiting because, well, one day they'll change and they'll be different and they'll treat me different. Then I can forgive them. No, 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 no. I'll tell you why that's a big no. Some people never change. Why? They don't have the capacity, they don't have the self-awareness to understand that they can be aware of their thoughts without acting on them. They are conditioned to think, I am this person and this is who I am. I don't need to change. Everyone else is in the wrong. So waiting for someone like that to change, you could be waiting a very long time. And like I say, they may never change. Sometimes we also have to take a look in the mirror. I mean, have you lived the perfect life? Have you never done anything wrong to someone else? Well, I know I have. Even also there'll be times where I've done things wrong to someone else and probably not even realised it out of my own ignorance. So when we look at our own selves, we can realise that, hold on a minute, we also need forgiving. Now in Matthew 6:12, the Lord's Prayer, it simply says, forgive us from our debts as we also forgive our debtors. A lot of people say that most days, but do they truly believe the words they are speaking? I don't think so always, because forgiveness isn't about condition. Forgiveness is about softening your heart, and no matter if someone changes or not, forgiving them. And you might say, okay, why should I forgive them? Why should you be forgiven of your mistakes if you aren't willing to forgive those who have trespassed against you? This is why forgiveness is as much for you as it is for someone else. Think, how can we change and become better? Well, you're not going to change someone with a hard heart going, I'm not going to forgive you until you forgive me, or vice versa. It's not going to get anyone anywhere, is it? Imagine if we all just had a forgiving heart, a soft heart. And also, we didn't try and change people. We accepted them for who they are. And sometimes you just got to do that. Sometimes people don't know how to change. Some people, maybe your forgiveness and accepting them for who they are, they may actually start to change. It might be you. You might be the one that actually changes that person through forgiveness. That's the power of it. And the same thing, like the guy I was chatting to at the gym, he was carrying the burden. The other person might not have even carried the same burden. That's why it's as much for you as it is for anyone else. You don't have to go through your whole life holding on the burden of, oh, that person did me wrong, oh, that person did this when I was younger. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think, how can we ask for forgiveness ourselves if we're not willing to forgive each other? And how can we create a more peaceful world? Simply is forgive those who have trespassed against you. So until next time, stay blessed and walk in faith.